Hello. So I had the idea this morning for a new instrument based on my duet work, where you have to play two controllers at the same time to make a note. And I decided that this time I would pair two very different instruments. Here you have the Novation Launchpad, which has 9 rows of 8 buttons, or you can do different things, but basically a bunch of pads, one for each note. And then you have the dupe for R2M, which has a continuous ribbon, a soft potentiometer, and where you push can be configured to represent a note or a control code or something like that. So, for example, this is a particular note, and you can see what I've done is hooked it up to the launch pad so that I can tell which note is playing. And then if I choose to pass it on to the launch pad, you can hear a note plays, and that's just like the original. What's different is it keeps playing until I release. So now both players have to, or both instruments have to be held to start the note, both have to be released to stop the note. And I did this for a very specific reason with this one, because you can play it in a different way than you can play two launch pads. So with two launch pads I would do things like highlight a chord, and my partner, in this case my son, could play along and kind of seek out the other parts of the chord. With this one there's no visual feedback here. So I kind of envision this being used where this is kind of like the strum on a guitar, and this is more like the fretboard. And if you've seen my other instruments, you see this is not a new idea for me. So for example, if I were to hold down these notes and then strum, you can hear it has a very guitar-like feel. The only problem is that with one hand you have a little difficulty making a 4-note chord. I can kind of do it here. So you can see I keep missing notes every so often. So what I've got it configured for right now was 5 octaves, which is the full range of the Launchpad, and I've got the controls over here for the so it's at 2 octaves. And then what's nice is I can hold the lowest note, and then I can see where the lowest note is going. So I'm going to put this 2 octaves somewhere up here so that it sounds fairly decent. Not bad. Okay, so that's the other advantage. You get visual feedback as you're tuning and lining things up. So if I were to hold, let's do a little higher. I'd be a little happier if it would actually operate at kind of the speeds that you can do with the guitar, but I still really like the strum-like quality to it. Anyway, it was just an idea that I had this morning, and it wasn't difficult to kind of abstract out the parts of the duet that would make this possible and then create a new instrument. So I thought I'd whip it together and give it a try. And I'll try it with him tomorrow and do a little playtest demo. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it.